I want parents to take back their power and reclaim the responsibility for their children instead of relinquishing or expecting you to do it. I don't have a social agenda, but I do have a freedom agenda.
Megyn Kelly, wow. I mean, just one example, of course, but it seems to me indicative of a sort of mass hysteria spreading across America as these two tribes remain more divided than ever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this guy's got some nerve. These parents say in Pennsylvania, they wrote emails to the board, they wrote letters to the board, they showed up at the school board meetings to try to express their concerns about the increased stress and anxiety and depression they were seeing in their children as this pandemic and the restrictions roll on, and they were ignored. And they showed up and tried to say, these are all the things we're seeing. And what does this guy do? Rather than responding to their emails, their letters, their in-person complaints at the board meetings, he goes to the press. And he writes a scathing op-ed saying, I don't work for you. You're vile. You're disgusting. You're nauseating. And then he tries to dismiss their complaints about mental health by calling them charlatans, saying some of us on the board were worried about mental health long ago. And if you really cared, you wouldn't have dismissed those concerns. Is he kidding me? He's talking about pre-pandemic. He's trying to compare random mental health complaints by students then to what we're seeing now. These are not charlatans raising complaints. These are, I have it right here, the American Medical Association of Pediatrics, whose journal says the toll of school closures and social isolation in children's mental health cannot be overstated, will require immediate and long-term investigation, and so on. And I could go on. There are lots of authorities now saying the suicide rate amongst girls, attempted suicide, is 51% up. You've got a rise in eating disorders of 120%. The level of stress, anxiety, and depression in children has doubled during the pandemic. So I really don't give a damn whether Richard wants to hear from the parents or not. And he does work for them, by the way, and he should be fired. And he's not the only one. Pennsylvania is the same state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where a teacher was caught taping a child's mask to his face. The photo went viral. It was just a little guy. He looked about maybe 5th or 6th grade, taping it down. Right. And this is in the midst of a lot of punitive mask behavior in these schools, Dan. There's a school in New York City, and it's not the only one, that issued a memorandum saying, if you are told to have to pull your mask over your nose so that we can't see your nostrils once, you're going to get a detention. If you're told twice, you don't belong at this school. So you're going to threaten the children with expulsion if you can see a nostril?
So cruel.
These are insane people who we've allowed access to our children.
But Megyn, even CNN, even the COVID hysterics at CNN admit that cloth masks don't work now.
Well, here's the perfect irony for you. In the end, their love of masks is what should put an end to the mandatory masking in school and outside of school, because they're right. Their beautiful N95 or KN95 mask, that thing works. It's awful, but it works. So if you are so concerned about catching something or your kid catching something, you wear one. Do it. They call it one-way masking. And all of the doctors are saying it works great. That's why the surgeons wear them. So you wear it. And it works better, they say, than universal masking. Their plan is to put all of us in KN95s or N95. That's not going to happen, all right? So the next best option is either this pretend theater we do with the cloth masks that our kids are in all day for no reason. That's no longer going to hold. Parents are fighting back. Or one-way masking. You want to protect yourself? Do it. Great.